hello everyone. Happy Saturday. I am very, very excited for stream today because I love studying and we're going to talk about studying and school supplies, and I have my school supplies to show you. Oh, I wanted to clean out my pen. We'll get to it. We'll get to it in a moment. Don't worry. I mean, I'm not going to clean it on stream. That's going to take forever. Also, thank you for gifting subs. Mr. Undertaker. Hi, Twitch. Hi, YouTube. Nope, I just got sent to Agile again. No! I'm on the subway coming back from Vespers. I will be dropping connection in every few minutes. Womp womp. Sadness. For you? Ha 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 ha. Not for me. But hello, everyone on YouTube. Hello, everyone on twitch.tv. Don't worry, I'm just, chatting a little bit before we begin. Nothing too crazy. I want to make sure I'm in the right category. I am in peak right now. That's not correct. I should be in just chatting. Oh my goodness. Okay, yeah, here we go. We're so back. We never even left. Wish disappeared. She's just acting tsundere. She's actually very sad about that. What? I'm not a tsundere. Just to be clear, I don't think I'm a tsundere. That would mean that I'm like in denial about things, and I don't think I am. I just think I'm a little goofy, maybe, but not like denial. Oh, sorry. I hit one of my cameras. Okay, I have my hand cam, so I'm excited to show you guys all of my things. Okay, to be clear, I have already graduated. I graduated like 3 years ago, basically, from university. But I still like to do self-study, and so whenever it's like back to school season, I get really excited because I get excited to learn again, and all the school supplies are on sale. So I bought like so many index cards you wouldn't believe, because I'm ready to learn Japanese, alright? So I'm lucky and I have my textbooks and everything. I'm thinking about taking some online classes. So I have like all my stuff ready and prepared for when I want to start taking classes and everything. So this is serious business for Juni, because I like to study. So I'm gonna try and tell you all of my tips and tricks as someone, who has ADHD, who struggles to focus, who does not lock in, who was very stressed during university, and then learned how to study because I didn't know how to study before. It was very difficult to figure that out. So I'm gonna try and speed run how to study and to be a functioning adult, because university is hard. And it's harder when you want to maintain a social life and then also get everything done and not want to drop out. To be clear though, just a forewarning for anyone involved, you will want to drop out at least once a week during like finals, like final season. You are going to want to drop out. It's normal. I love school, and I was like, what if I just like didn't do school anymore? That would have been so awesome. I'm free! Welcome back! Welcome back, every pony who was away from ads. I was just giving a forewarning of, hey, I'm not a college student. I've already graduated from university. I like to do self-study. I like to learn. And I was telling everyone, like, it's very common when you're in college to want to drop out. It's happens to the best of us. And so if you ever feel like you want to drop out of university, just know that everyone wants to drop out of university when it gets hard, because school is difficult and you're growing up and you have to manage like adult things and then also a social life and also school. And that's harder than high school. But high school is still challenging anyway. So I'm going to try and give you all the tips I have for like staying productive, not procrastinating, and all the school supplies that I use, the things that are necessary, the things that aren't necessary, because for a lot of people, a lot of things aren't necessary. What did you study? Also, same here. I almost dropped out, but I'm contemplating more schooling. That's fair. Everyone wants to drop out at least multiple times during finals week, multiple times during midterms. It's usually the week before midterms and midterms week. That's just like, this sucks. True, I wanted to drop out. Even if you love school and studying, you just get to a point. Everyone gets to a point. So I just wanted to reassure everyone. OMG, hi Judy, I miss you so much. Hi! Hello, Tiny Mushroom. It's me, Big Mushroom. I'm joking. I simultaneously wanted to get a PhD. Fair. Oh, I graduated with a degree in philosophy and religion. With, I want to say a 3.8. I know I graduated with a 4.0 in high school. But, you know, how are you doing? I'm doing great. I'm doing super awesome. So, you know, I wasn't, like, super great. I know my GPA, like, tanked during COVID season. So, don't worry, guys. It wasn't pretty and nice all the time. And a lot of the classes I took, I pass-failed. Because I was like, I don't want to take a GPA hit. And then I do good in the class. And then it's pass-fail. And then I want to, like, drop out. Because I'm like, no way. Sadly, you can't study what all you want. What? What do you mean? Whoa. Yeah. I mean, because COVID was rough for everybody. So, like, trying to do school, and then I also was, like, a caretaker. So I was like, listen, something's gotta give. Something's gotta give, and I'd rather not lose my mind over school. So I pass-failed my hardest classes. And I passed all of them. I just was scared I wasn't going to. I was just scared, okay? So, now I know. I was waiting to see this model. This one? Surprise. Here it is. Okay. So I'm going to... I'm, like, packed a, like, mock backpack, basically, is what I did. So I have all of, like, the things I would have had in university in my backpack. And so I can take it out and show you guys, like, what I used and everything and what helps me. I will be taking this with me to cafes and libraries when I want to study and lock in and do VTuber homework, because I still like to do that anyway. So, you know, talking about writing supplies, I know that Moosey asked me about writing supplies. I'm really sad that my pen is, like, not being on its best behavior right now. It's because the nib is clogged, because I used glitter ink on a pen that I probably shouldn't have used glitter ink on. But it's okay. Listen, we live and we learn. I was gonna say we listen, we don't judge, but we absolutely do judge, and I'm judging myself, and it's okay, it happens. Okay, I'm testing the pen again. It's being stinky. Not actually, just being silly. Okay. Okay, I'm sliding everything over. I'm making room. I'm gonna have a sip of tea because I brought my tea and I didn't drink any. So, I'd like to have some. My throat was feeling weird today. So, I want to make sure I curb that because I gotta do some recording pretty soon. So, oh, also, Tiny Mushroom, don't get attached to this model. It's switching over in a few days. Can I run the tape? Can I run the tape? Can I do the thing? Yeah, I can. Boom. Hey, yeah, by the way, YouTube people. Hi, YouTube. I'm going to be debuting on September 1st. 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. New model. Yippee. Okay, yeah, had to get that off my chest. You know, it was weighing heavy on me. You know how it is. Okay. I'm gonna change the size of chat hole and move everything around so I can see everyone. And everyone's pretty and cozy. Because this setup, like with my hand cam, I have to like absolutely like clear my desk off and everything. So I have to like... I have to be structured, and I'm not good at doing that sometimes. Twitch chat's so small. Okay. And then adjust. No, it was so adorable. Well, don't be sad. My new model's cute too. Maybe not as cute. But I think I look... I was gonna say handsome. Not handsome. I think I look pretty now instead of just cute. I think the tea is too hot. I don't want to burn myself. That's gonna be embarrassing. Okay. Let me switch over and I'll show you all of my things. This is gonna be so fun for me. I'm so excited. Okay, this is my favorite kind of stream. All right. Oh, I'm here twice. Don't worry, it'll fix itself. I'm not good with change. Well, I'm gonna give you guys a bunch of spoilers anyway in the next few days. So if you follow me on Twitter, you will see all of the changes. Man, the sun is all weird right now. So it's very pretty looking, but it just is a little, the shadows are odd, but it's okay. It's gonna look as it needs to look. You're experiencing Juni sunset room, so that's gonna happen. Don't worry. Okay, let's go. Hey guys, this is my microphone shadow. Ooh, you can see if I can like rotate it. I mean, I'm just spinning my microphone around a little bit, but like, ooh, natural lighting. Wow, it's very like dynamic, huh? I didn't put any like lights or anything on my like. Maybe that'll help. No, it doesn't. Well, don't worry. I think it looks moody. Wow, my hands look so red. Okay. School supplies. Well, firstly, I can't show you my backpack right now because it's full of stuff. So don't be afraid to call yourself pretty. Thank you. I think so. Boom. This is my pencil case. It looks really cool because it's clear and colorful. Wait, let me give it a little extra lighting effect. Yeah. Very good stuff. Shadow puppet time. I'm not good at shadow puppets. Thumbs up. Okay, hand. Which way is this camera facing? I'm struggling. I tried my best though. I tried to be cool. This is my pencil case. Is it expensive? No. I got it for $1.25. It was from Moth Mom. I just put some cute stickers on it. Also from Moth Mom. She used to collect stickers when she was younger. And so these are older than me. And I just decided to use them up. So, you know, stickers are very permanent. So it was very hard to choose which ones I wanted to put on there. But now they have like a home. Okay. I remember that Moosey wanted me to do a pencil case tour. This looks like a lot. I promise you, out of all the things in here, you need 2 things. And I have my recommendations. Okay, let's start with that. Let's start with the things I recommend that are actually good products that I know a lot of people hype up. Hi, Juni. Hello. Look, I can actually wave now. Hi. Okay, out of all the things in here, my top 3 choices. This pencil. We'll get to it. Where's my other highlighter? Do I have any in here? Oh, I don't? Do I? Well, I guess don't recommend it as much as I thought I did. Just kidding. I do like these though. These are pretty good. I like the mild liners. Those are the highlighters I tend to use the most. Do I have any on hand? I don't. That's okay. It's okay. But really, necessity-wise, I'm not lurking. I'm not a student, so I'll mostly be lurking, but I'm glad to catch this stream. Don't worry. I'm also not a student, but I like to talk about stationery, and this is my excuse. So, out of all the things you need, this and this. For me. These are the only 2 things. Hi, Father! Do you like my... Oh, I can wave to you! Hi, Father Evan! Hello, rest of Chateau! It's me, Juni, Catholic Christian, Moth Girl VTuber, 3-time champion of Game of Favorites as of yesterday. Trivia? Oh yeah! Who is the trivia favorite? Well, I know I'm P-Tony's favorite this week. The medium rotund raid of things and stuff. Quizzical father raid. Did you guys not agree? Like, what happened here? Are we... Okay, we kind of agreed. We're just making stuff up. Okay, trivia raid, father raid, other thing raid, rotund. Okay, here, let me shout you out. Hi guys, it's me, Juni, a not student talking about student things. If you're a procrastinator and you want to learn how to do stuff, right stream for you. So I'm also a procrastinator. Let me shout you out properly. Webby Pumpkin, your desk mat is adorable. Thank you. It's Kirby, and as you can see, the sun is setting. Hi guys. So we have really dynamic lighting. We're about to tour the pencil case. Got this for $1.25 at the dollar store. You know, savings. Okay. Let me do a shout out. But I hope your quiz show was good. Who won? Who is the quiz master? Father Evan. Thank you for helping me win yesterday. You didn't have to pick a favorite. Juni hands. That's right, Jennifer. My hands and my manicure. It changes colors, but you can't tell because it's warm right now, so they're green. But when it's cold, they turn purple. Straight gaming. Yeah. Webby? P-Tony and Webby won. Wow, you guys really untangled Christianity today. Okay, this is really dynamic lighting. I feel very cool. Ooh, like everything looks so sparkly and pretty. Well, welcome in. Settle in, guys. We're talking about stationery and how to not be a procrastinator because I was a really bad procrastinator in school and how to schedule. So, ooh, color changing nail polish. That's so cool. It is very cool. I got my nails to match my Kindle. You'll see it later. You're going to school? I am not a student. I like to study, though, as you can see. I'm trying to point to the right there. Ask me anything. I like to study. I do self-study, and then I also really like to plan. So this is more like planning and how not to be a procrastinator this stream. But it's also back to schoolish because Juni, hold this. Okay. Wow, look at that Kirby mat. Yeah, isn't that nice? I'm gonna switch it to Kaito once I get it. Oh, head pats. Here is my head pats. Here is the proper layer. I thought. Hello. This one. I made myself really big today. I don't know. I'm feeling it. Let me be normal size. Sorry, guys. Got a little ahead of myself there. Give me my pat. Thanks. Oh, wait, it works anyway. Hold on. I'm silly. I know how to do this. I didn't open Mix It Up. How does she have 4 hands? I don't know. You don't know what's under those sleeves, do you? No. Okay, let me make sure I have Mix It Up so head pats actually work the way they're supposed to. My bad. I forgot to open the program that lets you do that. I'm opening it now. I'm opening it now. Okay, it's open. And it will be minimized because I don't need to look at it. It exists, but it doesn't need to exist in my presence. Okay, anyway. Organic restart. Let's go. That totally didn't happen. Anyway, immersion ruined. How? Move that out of the way. Ugh. Okay. Ta-da! Here's my pencil case. Something something. Got it for $1.25. Those are my mom's stickers that she used to collect when she was my age. And now I have them. This is my pencil case. Hi, Arbiter. Welcome. Time to learn. Okay. I was saying earlier, this looks like a lot of stuff. Do you need all of this? No. The only 2 things I would say that you would need, and the only 2 things I really, really recommend. A nice pen that you like to use that has black ink. And this is a Crew Toga pencil. You can't really see it because of the sun. It's a My Neighbor Totoro one, so as you can see Totoro's on there. This little bit in here rotates when you write, so it keeps the lead in the pencil sharp. This is not the one with the lead in it. The other one I have has the lead in it. This one! I have, I think, 3 of these pens. This is a Donald Duck limited edition one. So, when you write, and I'll kind of show you, if you can see the little circle in there, it spins. There's probably a better way to do this than stabbing my hand. Okay, you see the circle? You see how it's rotating? So whenever you pick up the pen, it'll rotate the lead. And so the lead point will always stay perfectly sharp. Cool, that's adorable. We love Totoro. Recommend the Pilot Slim 3-way pen because it's amazing. I don't like the 3-way cartridges most of the time, but I do have Pilot pens, and my favorite Pilot pen is the Pilot Juice. This is a Pilot Juice pen. I have a lot of the colorful ones. I have it in black. They come in a big set. I usually use these as my colored pens when I'm taking notes. They don't skip. They're a really tiny size. So I really like these. Yeah. Very cute. Thank you. Thank you. I hate pens. Well, you are a nerd. Big pens. No, okay, so I don't like big pens because they don't dry fast enough. And the black ink isn't black, it's blue. And that really irks me. It irks me. Should I go watch Ponyo in theaters next week? Yes. Okay, so my Kuru Toga recommended pen. It's so good because it never gets dull and it makes all your words look even. Hi, Logan! And this is my pen that I use. I need to clean the nib because it's clogged with glitter right now because I use glitter ink and I probably wasn't supposed to. But it's completely black ink. We'll see if it works. No, that's on me. I should have, you know, but it's really juicy. So I have an inkwell and I fill my pen because it has an ink cartridge in it. Okay, so there are 2 kinds of like these refillable pens. This one is better. Ah, lefty, I am. Good jump for Jerry Seinfeld, good enough for me. So this is my pen cartridge. So you take out this end and you fill it up. As you can see, there's glitter stuck in it. So I need it cleared out. But that's one kind of cartridge, and I recommend this kind of cartridge where you can fill it yourself because it saves a lot of money. I'm a left-handed person too, let's go. I usually get super fine tip for everything since my handwriting is so small. Okay, so 0.5 is really good for lead for you. That's probably the most practical, less frustrating pen that doesn't break. 0.5. So I would definitely recommend this one for you. And I do like the clear. Okay. There are other fountain pens, and the cartridges look like this instead, where they're like a one-time fill thing, so you just pop it out and you put a new one in there. Do I like these? They're practical, but it takes about the same amount of time for you to pop one of these in than it is for you to just take the thing out and refill it and put it back. And it saves more money because I have bought one inkwell and I have been using it for a few years now. And I basically use this pen every day. So if you want to buy like 60 of these bad boys, you can, but I wouldn't recommend it. Juni, vitamins, I already took them. I'm working with a 0.3. Oh, if you use these, this is another pen I really like. It's a felt tip. It's a micron. I don't know if you've seen these before, but the tip is like felt and it's so tiny. So I like these because they're also normal black ink. Look at that. Wow, very juicy. Very nice for line art. But I like to use this just for notes and stuff because, again, I do not like blue-black ink unless it's marketed as blue-black ink. So I don't like big pens. Also because, like, if I'm left-handed, I write too fast and it's all on my hand. And I don't like that. So I always go for the quick-drying ink. So for quick-drying ink, I'll have to check. I think it's a Winsor & Newton black ink well. And then I use the microns because the microns are great. Yeah, micron are very nice. They are very nice. I use G2s exclusively. G2 is good. If you like other pens and there are no G2s, I would recommend the Pilot Juice. Or any Pilot pens really are really good and they don't skip. And the ink is good. So, you know, if not, G2 Juice instead. Listen, you have options. But usually when I'm taking notes, this is what I do. I do pencil sometimes. A lot of the time in college, I didn't use a pencil, unless I'm doing homework. Pen, and then when I'm taking notes, I will pick a color, and then a highlighter. So these are the super tips for Crayola. So they're like maybe $6 now. Yeah, for a case of like 24. I've had these since high school, I'm pretty sure, and I still use them. So I like to have just like these 4 things. Pen, important things or like different slides or something, I will write in a different color, and then I'll use this to separate sections, but mostly black. And if I'm writing something that I am not sure about, I will write it in pencil. Is it difficult to learn using a fountain pen? No, it's super easy. If it's a good fountain pen, it should be easy. If it's a bad fountain pen, it will be difficult. So, I have a nice set of Uniball pens. Ooh, those are good. Those are good. I like those. I'll send a picture of my bag real quick and I'll let you see the pens after I stream. Yay! I'm excited. Okay. Highlighters that I've been liking that are like American made because the Kokyo... oh, this is not Kokyo. This is Kurutoga. The Kurutoga pens are Japanese. This one, it was a gift, so I don't really know where that's from. I think these ones are... Yeah, the Saplio is... You can get it at any art store, craft store, or whatever. These you can get from Walmart. These you can also get from Walmart. They are the Sharpie S-Note highlighters, and they're in milder colors. So it's not like fluorescent highlighter colors. And I don't know about you guys, but I hate highlighter yellow, highlighter pink, neon green. This is the color for you. For a highlighter, mind you. Is that not soothing? Look at that. Non-fluorescent color. Just mild color. And so I like taking notes and using more mild colors because I hate the way fluorescents look. Hurts my eyes. Looks tacky to me. And so I just, if all of my notes are neon, I don't want to look at my notes after 4 o'clock. It's too bright. Hurts my eyes. So yeah, I switch colors when I switch topics. I switch colors when I switch units, and you will see that soon. So I also have like a gray Stablio, so if I don't want to use black, and there's something that's like a little bit less important but still kind of a header, I will use the gray one. But again, you don't have to. The only things you need are a pen and a pencil. But I'm just showing you the fancy things that I prefer, you know? I only use yellow and pink, but that blue does look nice. Yeah, so there's a whole set. Like, this is the green one. And as you can tell, it's not neon green. It's a very soothing, mild green. They're on sale for back to school right now, so you can pick them up. They're the Sharpie S-Note. Here's the green. okay? Not aggressively neon. Still highlights, alright? Well, I'm gonna go be productive. That's probably good. Probably good. I have ones that are like the microns and the Seblio, and they're the tiny, like, felt tip. I ordered these from a set on Amazon. It was, like, maybe $6. I got, like, 20-something of them. But I always carry 2 colors in my pencil case for 2 units. So if I'm in a class, whatever color I want for a unit, I will pick 1 color. So this will be, like, Unit 1. Okay? All of Unit 1 will be green. It will not be a different color. I got a pen and pencil right here. Where do I write, though? I feel like you need more... What? Need one more thing. Paper? We're gonna get there. Never stop learning, friends. I agree. I agree. I need the aggression from my highlighter to burn into my brain that something is important. That's fair, but you know what colors you have? Green, sometimes blue, pink, yellow, orange. I have like over 24 highlighter colors that I just own. I've collected them over the years, so you do not need to buy every single thing. I promise you, you do not. But if you have something that you like, keep it. Because I haven't bought new school supplies until yesterday. The things I bought: necessary eraser, necessary whiteout because I ran out. This was like 60 cents for 6. This was like $3 for 3. So, this is what I spent money on. Everything else I already owned. This is a nice pen. I don't know where I got it, but it's random. It's a Zebra! Oh, Zebra's a good brand, and Pilot's a good pen brand. So, Pilot, Zebra, Peak. Okay, this is another juice pen, replacement lead. Oh, okay, so I like to draw when I'm in class. This is the Jelly Roll. I got it in a set of 3 in high school. You can't see the label because the label's in white. But it's a Jelly Roll gel pen, and it's white ink. So if I'm like highlighting something, I can use the white ink. Look at that. Isn't that cool? So if I need to white out something small, I'll use that. You know, because I don't want to use the whole strip thing if I don't need to. So this is kind of serves as a whiteout pen if I need it. I never knew you were still in school, Sabrina. I'm not. Now this is making you want to hit up Target for school supplies. I got this from Target. I got this from Target. The Sharpie ones are at Target, but there are Target brand ones that cost less that are the same colors. So, Juni's ready to highlight anything. Yeah, because I have my Bible and I like to change my color depending on, like, the month. So, yeah. Jelly Roll, my lifesaver. That's what I'm saying. It's white ink. I have 3 of them that I got, but I think I still own 2. One is here and one is in my desk. I like washi tape sometimes when I'm decorating something fancy or I need something to stick to something else. I just like to have it on me whenever I need it. It came in a set, and this was a Sanrio set, so I have like cute Sanrio pom-pom-purin on there. Here, there he is. Yeah, but these came together, so I just keep one on me. Just in case, just in case. I usually keep scissors in here, but I couldn't find the scissors that I usually keep. This is my lead. Any lead is fine. Pentel's nice. But I need 0.5. So make sure your pen, like lead, your pencil lead matches the actual lead size that you own. Because if not, you'll be so frustrated. I use highlighters to color code turns on bus routes. Orange is always right. Blue is always left. I like that. That's cool. I need to get a new Bible. I think I want to start highlighting according to topic with different colors or time periods. That would be cool. But you realize that the Bible has more than this many, and your fluorescent highlighter colors are only this many, sometimes this many. So you might need to get some more mild colors. I have a brown highlighter. Like, why did you buy school supplies then? I bought 2 things. These are the 2 things. Because I journal and I write and I like to plan and I needed an eraser. So I bought what was essential, but I already owned these things because I was a student and I kept them. Because it's smart to keep the things that you like. These are really the only 2 things that I use. Well, most of the time it's just this and 1 color because I journal. So when I journal, I write everything in ink. Because I realize that when I journal, I just need to get all my thoughts out. It doesn't have to be perfect. I just scribble stuff out if I need to, you know. It's not a big deal. So, these are the only 2 things I carry, usually. That or a highlighter. But, you know, if I'm, like, doing a lot of stuff or, like, taking a course, I will have, like, this. I found an old eraser I used in college. It's now dried out. Yeah, I couldn't find any of my old erasers, surprisingly. And that was kind of stressing me out, so I had to go to the store and I had to get one. Yeah, but this is my pencil case. Again, the only two things I bought, this and that. This case was $1.25. Moth Mom brought it for packing, not necessarily for, like, supplies. But yeah, we have so many of the same brands. Yeah. Same, I have brown, soft golden yellow, soft blue, the usual highlighter colors, but muted and not icky. Yes! I have a lot of muted yellows, muted pinks and stuff, so like they don't hurt my eyes. Here's another blue one that I have. It's just like another mild blue, you know? And the tip is kind of bendy. I was gonna touch it, but that would get on my fingers. So this one kind of matches this one, you know? And it kind of has like a gradient on it, so... You know, it's not as aggressive blue as a highlighter neon blue, but it's like less periwinkle than that one, so... You know, there are options for you to get highlighters that are like more or less pigmented depending on what you want. But I find them to be good. The mild liner brand, the Sharpie brand, do not smear the ink most of the time, so... Yeah. I also keep 2 kinds of scissors, a box cutter, some pliers, and jewelry, whatever needs at random. You know your own needs, so you may not need a pencil case at all. You may just need a pen and 1 highlighter. But I find that if I go into class and the unit changes, and I'm using green for everything, and we're now on a unit that's different, I want to have a second color. So I have main color, backup color, colored pencil, well, colored pen, colored highlighter, pen, pencil. Everything else for me is optional. But if I'm going to class, since everything's already together, I might as well carry 2 of each. So 2 markers, 2 pens, 1... Oh, I have a normal pencil. And this is when someone asked me to borrow my pencil. Because I have kept my pencils for years. Okay? And I don't trust that someone will take my Kurotoga pencil and give it back. So I have, like, the normal Bic mechanical pencils. It's, like, unused completely. Because, you know, if someone needs a writing tool, I have one for them that they can keep if they wish. But I don't want to give my fancy pencils to someone that may not return it. So, you know, that's being a good steward of your belongings, guys. You know, you don't have to give everyone everything that you own. Exactly, I keep an array for everything since my notes are colored. Yes, I agree. The music, jazz. Jazz. Okay. Writing paper thingies. And I have an example of notes and everything. A few things, actually. Okay. My notebooks that I liked to use when I was in school are the Kokyo Campus notebooks. If you've watched My Hero Academia, this may look familiar to you, except it doesn't say campus on it because that's a brand and they obviously didn't have that license. So, this is what Midoriya used to write his hero notes, if you didn't know. They're really slim, and I find if you're taking a 15-week semester, like class, you do not need this much of paper because you'll realize you only use about 60 pages. This one I think is 30? 60? Quite a few. It's not that big. But if you have a really notes-heavy class, you will fill up one of these. The Deku notebook. It is the Deku notebook, and they come in a bunch of colors. This one in particular has like graph dots on it. You can't really see it, but there are like little tiny dots on there for graphing. So if you're in a math class and you need graphs and stuff, it does look like that. So you can draw straight lines if you use a ruler. I don't do that. Maybe you don't, but I did enough math that I did. Well, if you're taking a math class, it's different. I am coming from an arts and humanities standpoint. But most of the time, for my classes, it was mostly reading and typing papers. And occasional notes. So I felt when I was taking like history classes, these were perfect for history notes. If you're doing like word problems or like math problems and you need space to work, this is not that kind of notebook. This is just for like note taking. And I like to take notes, so these were my note-taking notebooks. It's likely that when I get into Japanese, I will start to take notes in here. I have a Japanese notebook for practicing characters that has the like Japanese squares. I got this like years ago. So, my Japanese characters writing practice book. I was practicing. I haven't started up again, but You know, I labeled all of the things so I can practice a little bit every day, but you know, this is not practical for normal Japanese writing. This is just practical for practicing the characters. And so this has a lot more pages than my other notebooks, as you can see by how slim the other ones are. Again, this is like the practice version. These are for notes, so I don't get the things like mixed up, you know? There were classes where I would have 2 pages of notes for one problem. You're trying to learn Japanese too? Twin. Yeah. But I'm being like so serious about it because like I have not been serious enough. I've had the Genki textbooks and so I need to look at them. Those are very cozy notebooks. Thank you. For math, usually I use a binder. I like to have loose paper for math. Obviously my major was philosophy. So I had to take 2 math classes for Gen Ed and I took, what did I take? A cipher breaking class, so it only needed a few pieces of paper for work. But ciphers, I was in a note-taking class. And then I took statistics, so that was more calculator heavy, so I didn't really need to take notes. The only time I needed paper was to work out problems. So it wasn't necessarily for note-taking. And I find that I don't like to combine the two, because it's harder to find my actual notes. Me with French lately. Oh, I have an example of how I write notes. Hold on. A few things. This one, my Latin notebook from university. Real Latin notes. Na-na-na. So, as you can see, this is kind of how I use my color coding. So, vocab 1 was green. So everything is green, you know. And this layout helped me a lot because you can cover this side and do the word study. So I used like a flashcard or something and I would cover this side and try to remember, right? I have my homework in here because my Latin teacher sometimes checked. I put stickers, but that was kind of frivolous, you know. But, you know, again, things are color-coded, different units, different colors, declension charts, homework, all kind of matched each other. I put some stickers. I didn't need to, but these are more vocab. Nope, these are conjugation charts. But yeah, it helped me be organized. I know not everyone needs to do that. Like when it got to me studying, like this was my study page where I was just kind of trying to go over stuff for the exam review. It doesn't look pretty because this is where all my extra blah 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 went, you know? But, you know, in terms of, oh yeah, and this was like a quiz practice thing, so I would take this, write the questions down, and work on it over and over again. Because how I like to study is I will take a sheet of paper and I will write and rewrite and rewrite and rewrite and rewrite over and over again until it is in my brain. So I like to rewrite things. I like to use hand gestures a lot. So I'll use a hand gesture to mean like somebody or something I need to remember that I can't remember. But a lot of the time, why would I write the same thing over and over and over again when I can just write like how I want to answer it and go throughout the week and give myself the same little practice quiz. So that's kind of what I did. This is, wow, I had my stickers with me that day, huh? But yeah, basically those are my language notes. You're such a nerd with love. I know, but that's the whole point of this. I get to yap about how much of a nerd I am, and life is great, and everything's amazing. Practice tests and practice questions are how I like to study. It's a great way. It's a great way. You know? Okay. Those are my fancy notebooks. But, something I'm very excited and passionate about is planning. And I bought a new planner. It's massive. I'm telling you right now, your planner does not have to look like this. Most people's planners are not going to look like this. This is my planner, as you can see. Okay, life hack for planners. If you're a lady, your nails are so long, I can't imagine how careful you have to be to not break those. Not really, because I take collagen, so they don't really break, and they naturally grow this long, so skill issue on your half. Yeah, they're usually this long. Actually, the gel is kind of cracked on that one, but like otherwise they're usually, you know, it would be weird to have these long of fingers and super short nails, you know. So I don't really have to be careful. I just have to if I'm getting gel nails, I have to make sure they don't file my nail down because that'll make my nail fragile. But if I take collagen and everything's good. So I used to bite my nails. Can't do that. I also have gel polish, so I would be eating chemicals if I bit my nails, so I don't want to do that. But this is my massive planner. I got this from Burlington. If you go to any store like Burlington, Ross, like Big Lots, what's the other one? Like TJ Maxx, you can find journals like this that would probably cost around $30 to $40 at actual like websites that sell like fancy Christian girl planners. I went to Target and I was trying to find a planner that I liked, and they were like $12 this big, which works for some people, mind you. I used many planners when I was in university, so you know, there's that. But if you want like a big fancy one, go to like a store that doesn't typically sell those kinds of things, because usually they have a whole bunch, and a lot of them have Bible verses on it, like this one. And I'm very excited about this because this is big even for me, but like this one's very fancy. It's very colorful. Look how colorful it is in there, you know? Let me see, where's August? It started in August too, so it's like an August starting planner. But these are basically what the pages look like. I like that it's sectioned off for morning and evening, because that's usually how I structure my life. Like, okay, what do I need to do in the morning? What do I need to do after classes, typically? Yeah. Juni has hands is both a... Oh, of course she has hands. She's not actually a moth. And wait, she's not actually a moth. It's insane. Yeah, I do have... Ooh. I think my hands will match my new model more. So, yeah. Bring back Lifeway SMH. Well, they overcharge you. They will charge you like $35 for like a thing like this. But I paid $9.99, I'm pretty sure. And this was the most expensive option. But I like that it's colorful and that every month is color-coded, as you can see. And every month has a theme, so October switches over and everything is orange. So you'll see that everything turns orange. So I no longer have to pick a color of the month, because this already picks the color of the month for me. And it has colorful tabs all throughout. Wow! So, yeah. Okay, so I wanted to do an example of how to plan. So I need audience participation, just a little bit, okay? So if you're in college, you realize you have classes, you have a lot of homework, you're given a syllabus, and you want a social life. Give me an event on a random day of the week. So far, we have things you want to do this week. Party on Friday, there's a football game on Saturday, which is a pretty typical college thing. Give me one random activity and we will add it without looking. Okay? Brewed up some coffee. Let's get it. Maybe coffee is kind of crazy for this point of the day, but you know, we'll take that. I need to get like a pencil out. But I'm going to show you guys how I planned my week. So, usually I have 3 things, typically, like a meeting usually, but these are unclass related activities that you would like to participate in for your week. Okay? A lot of people like to party on Friday, so I put that on there because that's a typical college student activity. I had chai this afternoon, so I think I timed it perfectly. Yes. So we'll go like, let's say Tuesday you have dorm dinner, Thursday night, dorm dinner. That's good. Dinner, Thursday. Okay, this is you not knowing what you have going on this week. You said yes to all of these things. All right? This is your schedule. All right? This is what I do whenever I get my syllabus. I write down all the dates in a planner. What are the things that my professor is giving me? So that way, when I want to make plans, I know what's going on in my week. So usually my academic planner looked like this, where I would have all the things. Oh, hi Marish, welcome. Oh, we're about to get into it. Oh, you guys are, guess who's learning something today? You guys are about to learn something, but it's me, Juni Purwood. Let me wave. Hi guys, it's me, Juni. Hello. Catholic Christian Moth Girl VTuber. I won Game of Favorites this many times now, and Marish is my friend. We are friends. But thank you for the shout out. That's perfect. Hey Sabrina, I have to go study. I want to be a nurse. Yeah, you have to study. Studying is important. And guess what we're talking about? Planning. This is my big planner. You know, that's pretty thick of a planner. As you can see all the tabs in there. Yeah, but here's the music. So, I'm doing an example of academic planning, okay? So, let's say you are, well, you're now a student, because I said so. in this demonstration. You're a student. These are the 3 things you want to do this week. Have a great rest of your day, Marish. Please take care of yourself. Yeah. Okay, these are 3 things you want to do. Party on Friday, dorm dinner on Thursday, football game on Saturday. Your schedule looks like this. Okay? Don't catch yourself to be a fool, alright? So what I do is I write down all of the things that are given to me on a syllabus. So usually professors will tell you when you have quizzes and what readings you have to do for that class, okay? So I'll always write those down. So when I open up my planner, I already know what I might have to do for that week. Usually these things don't change, like the things you need to read and the day of the quiz, unless they remember there's a holiday and they completely forgot to update their schedule. Usually you know by the beginning of the year every single thing that your professor intends to do, unless there's a massive change. Write these things down. Your syllabus is given to you for a reason. You don't have to look at it all the time. If you write it down in your planner, you will always have exactly what you need to do. So, even before you made your plans, you know that you have a paper due on Friday, okay? When I was in school, I used to build out a PERT chart so I plan out the whole semester, and then I got my syllabus and I used that to make my weekly schedule. This is the way! This is the way! So when someone tells you, hey, you want to go to a party on Friday? Guess what you have to do on Friday? Roman culture paper. And you need to read for Friday morning's class. So that's a Thursday thing. Okay, so anything that is due this day for a class, if this is a class assignment, this is a class assignment like homework, you do it the day before, obviously. Right? Not late at night, but you know at least that you have to do this on Tuesday and Thursday, okay? So you can still go to the dorm dinner, but just keep in mind that you have to read for Unit 7 that happens on Friday. So dorm dinner can still happen, okay? But you have to read. Read. Oof, I spelled wrong. I put red. Consider it done. It is red. I spelled red wrong too, though. I need to spell it the right way. You see, this is why I need to buy an eraser. Because these pencils, the only downside is that their erasers are really, really tiny. And it's a hassle to replace them. So I just use a tiny one. So you need to read. Okay? But you can still do the dorm dinner. That's totally doable and fine. Because reading is like a few pages, maybe. So you're fine. Now this Friday party that you're trying to do. Saturday, you're good for games. So football, you can do that. Because all of your deadlines are already done. It's important to check next week to see if you have anything at the beginning of the week. Like this week, you have a quiz on Monday. So what do you need to do on Saturday and Sunday? You need to study for the quiz on Monday. Because if you don't do that, you're going to wake up Monday morning and go, oh my gosh, it's 8 a.m. and I have a quiz. So either I need to stay up late on Sunday. You should not do that. Or I need to cram on Monday. You should not do that. On the day of an assignment, maybe study for like 10 minutes and let your brain rest. Okay? You do not want to be frantic. You do not want to feel rushed for anything. And a lot of the time, people's stress in college comes from poor time management rather than actual academic panic. Because everything is balanced most of the time. You study for the test in the class you have before the test. No. Nah, study 30 minutes before. You're a procrastinator. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because if you're already familiar with the material, it's likely that you don't really have to study that much at all. If you have a quiz, let's say that this is the week before Monday's quiz. If you have Monday's quiz next week, you come up with a study guide, maybe Wednesday. Okay, because you don't gotta go crazy. You come up with a study guide on Wednesday. You find out what you need to be familiar with. You look at it again on Thursday a little bit. You look at it again on Friday a little bit. If there's still stuff you don't remember, that's okay, you have time. If you want to look at it on Saturday, you can. Sunday's a rest day. Do not study on Sunday. Monday morning, look at it again. All right, I remember this thing. I remember this thing. I remember this thing. I remember this thing. This part, I'm a little bit confused on because I keep forgetting about it. So let me look at it again right before the exam. Take the quiz. Don't have to worry about it for the rest of the week. It's fine. You look like if a man and a woman had a child who grew up into an adult and also had at least one hand. Hands. True. What if I did what is recommending I would have not flunked out of college? This is good advice. I'm trying to make you pace yourself. I think a lot of stress comes from not organizing yourself. I'm an aerospace engineer. That doesn't mean that you balance your schedule correctly, though. I think a lot of different things work for a lot of different people. Cramming and procrastination scientifically do not help you. Because, okay, let's say you do cram. Let's say. Sure, we will cram, so we'll study for Monday's quiz for 30 minutes and then take the quiz. What happens when you have your midterm? What happens to the things that you learned and you practiced and you studied and you reviewed? You know how much time you put into that? 30 minutes collectively. What are you doing for the midterm? What are you doing for the final? Because if you study a little bit, this much, you just look at something again. You open your notebook, you go, okay, for example, this is a great example, especially for language classes. Okay, for example, I'm gonna look at my vocab because there are some words that, yeah, I took the vocab quiz. It was fine. I missed some though. And there are some words that I just struggle to remember. Okay, so you just look at it again. Like today, for 15 minutes, I'm gonna look at vocab. And then you put it away. And you don't worry about it. Okay? It's just nice to look back on it and you go, okay, great, it's done. Check. Alright? But if you do the 30 minutes before the quiz and never again, guess what happens for you during finals week? Stress and anxiety and wanting to drop out because you spent this many minutes collectively. Okay? Whereas if you study a little bit every day and a little, this much every day, you won't have to worry about cramming like everyone else does for all of your exams at the same period because midterms are on the same week for everyone. Final exams are on the same week for everyone, and like first quarter exams are on the same week for everyone. Do you want to cram for every single one of your classes and lose sleep? No. You can literally be so chill in college and not do that if you plan your stuff. You can be chill and not be like, oh my gosh, I forgot I had a reading until just now because somebody 2 hours before class told me I had a reading. Oh, barnacles. So you could stress yourself out on Friday if you forget about your reading. You could stress yourself out on Wednesday if you also don't do the reading for Wednesday's class. And you could stress yourself out on Monday because you forgot about the quiz and you study for 30 minutes and instead of eating a lunch at a leisurely pace, you're stressing yourself out. And you're double stressed on Friday because you also have a paper that you did not touch or think about until Friday. But you also have a party that you want to go to. So you're trying to balance making friends, also making time for your paper, also trying to read in time for this class. So your morning's already busy because you're trying to cram. Okay? It's likely that you're going to try and start on your paper, but you want to either be done or take a break and go to the party, and then you come back from the party and either you do not want to write your paper and you don't, or you stay up a ridiculous amount of time trying to finish this paper, causing you more stress on a Friday after you had fun. So your brain is on this because you didn't give yourself any time when you had nothing to do. You only have to read a little bit that day. So you probably could have done it on Tuesday. You could have done it after Monday's quiz because you don't have anything going on for Tuesday. Literally nothing. You could have started on Monday. But now you're tweaking out on Friday. You had all this time. So I think it's really good to have a look at what you're doing in that week. So you plan around it. And again, I'm not a student right now, but I think it's really important to know how to balance your schedule like this. Because with work, and with wanting to find free time, it's still important to know how to balance your schedule and to know that you have things that you need to do and not stress yourself out. And you get to have more social activities. Yeah, than your cramming friends. It's true. I never cram 30 minutes of a day or 15 every day and I got efficiency. That's correct. I think it's good to also study a little bit on the day of just to be like, okay, what do I need to check? What am I forgetting? But to do all of your studying on one day and then just be like, all right, I'm done with the quiz, I don't have to remember anything anymore, is wrong. Because you are just delaying your stress, and I don't think you should do that. Cramming doesn't work long term if you want to remember the material. That's true. That's very true. So this is how I would recommend maybe looking at your schedule. Knowing what you want to do and fitting it in by finding the things that don't move and cause stress and planning around it. You know, because, like, listen, if you're already studied for Friday, you already did your reading on Thursday. Like, once Wednesday happens, you're chill. Thursday, you can do your paper, right? So you can do paper a little bit. You can, and this makes it so easy. Monday, you don't even need the full 2 weeks, really. I mean, it's smart to use all the time that you're given, but you don't necessarily need the full 2 weeks because you can brainstorm and sources on Monday. Okay. You already took your quiz, so you're good. You don't have anything going on Tuesday. If you want to start writing a thesis, you can. So this is drawing a little map of what you want to do. And then writing your topic. That'll take max an hour or 2. And that's the bulk of it. You already have your structure. You already have your thesis. The paper's already structured for you. You just have to write. So you write a little bit. You could probably write a lot on Tuesday. It could be done on Tuesday. But if you want to take your time and split it up again, you can. Write a little bit on this day again because you have like reading and you have this little sight reading test. So obviously you need to practice that day. Practice. But that's easy. It's easy to practice for like an hour. You're good. You could be done Tuesday. You could be done Wednesday. You could be done Thursday. By Friday, it doesn't even have to be on your plate. It really doesn't. Listen to Juni. She has good advice. I have autism. I have ADHD, so I have to like force myself to follow a routine. Because if not, I won't get anything done. I will procrastinate. The biggest thing with ADHD is you have to set your own deadlines. If you do not set any deadlines for yourself, it will not get done. You will not do it. And so I have more tools for you. I have more tools for procrastinators like you. Quite a few. I'll wait for the ads to end first. Because there are like 2 things that I did that helped me a lot. Three things that helped me with ADHD. Don't think you can ignore. I can't. And my T's right here. So I'm not ignoring it. I was on my train of thought. I didn't want to lose my train. It made me lose my train. My gravy train. My scribbles. Look how clear that white ink is. Isn't that so cool? Bet you didn't know you can get white ink pens. Normal people who use Bic pens. Nothing wrong with Bic, by the way. Bic is great. Bic is practical. Just saying. Oh, she didn't say that. No, I want to drink my tea now. It's still warm. I didn't drink all of it, but I had a little. Gravy train. Gravy. Why are your flow so mean? I actually don't know anything about that. I don't believe this. No. I just wanted to say gravy train. Didn't happen. I don't know anything about the gravy train. Does that mean something? Is this good? Is this good? Did I do it right? Is it good? I want to see when the ads end. Let me see. I need white pens. They're great. Jelly Roll white pens are the best. I like Jelly Roll. He's a big deal for a local hockey team. Gravy? Gravy? Train? Oh, ad starts. Oh, I can snooze it. I can snooze it. I'm snoozing your ads. You don't get to go to ad jail. You don't. Okay, next thing. Study pro tips. How to give yourself a deadline when you don't feel like you have a deadline. Plenty of ways. Making blueberry muffins. Yum. All the writing utensils I use are left on my bus by the students. Smart. Smart. Practical. I'm snoozing it again. Okay. The 3 things I like to use to study. This is gonna sound crazy. This is a candle. This is a candle holder. This candle, when you melt it down, the wax changes colors, and that's why it looks like this. So these candles come in different lengths, and those different lengths burn down in a certain amount of time. If I have a big project, I will melt the big candle, and by the time I finish melting the big candle, that project should be done. This takes about 6 to 8 hours, okay? There are candles that are about this big that take maybe 3 hours, okay? So you can time yourself by burning a full candle because it feels like you're against the clock in a fun way that you can look at. And if you feel like you're punishing yourself by having to work a lot, you're like, oh, well, this candle already burned this much, and when I looked away, it moved like there. This is gonna be done like 2 seconds. I could do this. Candle method, nice. And then you feel great because you're like, I finally finished it, and the candle is still burning. I am the champion. No one can defeat me. feels good. You're about the last person I think you would know about Young Gravy. I'm sorry, I didn't know if that was the Gravy Train guy. I was part of the other day and I was doing Bible study by candlelight. It's great, creates great, like, ambiance, okay? Some of them are fragrant, so it smells nice, alright? And I think that it's fun. A lot of people like looking at fire, okay? So when you get distracted, you're at least looking at something that shows your progress. And then you go, oh man, well, it's melting down really fast. Like, this part just dripped down, which means I'm losing wax, which means I'm losing time. I'm against the clock, and it's the own clock that I set for myself. I need to lock in because I have to finish. Because I think a lot of people are like schedule oriented when it comes to ADHD sometimes, where they feel like they don't do things unless they feel like they're running out of time. So a lot of people with ADHD procrastinate because they don't have like a time frame for themselves. Fire is captivating. I agree. Like a moth to a flame. You know what I mean? Okay, I want to show you guys something as well. If I can pull it up. One of my favorite study tools. Let me see if I can find the website. There it is. Okay, I'll show you guys my favorite website for study tool. Okay. I made like an example thing so I can see if I can pull it up for you. Which one is it? Not that one. This one. Okay. It looks like this. This is called Promo Focus. It's a website. It's also an app. So basically all you do is you can put a task in, and I said, how many Pomodoro sessions would this take? So Pomodoro basically, Pomodoro means tomato in Italian. So if you've ever seen a kitchen timer that looks like a tomato, that's basically what this means, right? This is what this looks like. So the method works like this. You have 25 minutes to work. Your short break is 5 minutes. And every 3 sessions of this, you take a long 15-minute break. Okay? So you know yourself, and you can basically like set a time and see how many units of 25 minutes a task will take. So I did an example of doing Unit 1 flashcards. And what I really like about this website is if you start right now, it will tell you what time you finish that task. Okay? You can be a 25 kind of person. You know how long you can focus on a task. But I find that you just need to start. And once you start, you can get into the flow. But you have to put yourself on a time. A lot of the time when you have ADHD. This is a good method. I like it. Juni, get Spirit City. I have it, but I don't like that one as much. I just like the normal timer because I put it in the corner of my screen when I'm working on something. So basically, you know, you start your timer, but I really like that this tool in particular, and this is not what that other one does, like the Lo-Fi Spirit something, it does not tell you when the task is done. And when I was in college and I'm like, man, I have like 6 million things to do, this is gonna take forever, it tells me when I'll be done. And this accommodates for breaks. So it'll tell you like, okay, yay, I'll be done by, what is this, 8:04, you know? And it's like, oh, okay, well, if there's some things that you're like, hey, I want to be done studying by, like, let's say you want to be done studying by like 9 o'clock. So you're doing your little things and you're like, okay, well, how many things can I add? Let's see. We want to do Unit 1 flashcards. We also want to start on paper. But what exactly? Write thesis. And that's one word. I mean, that's one sentence. Or it could be a full paragraph depending on how serious the paper is. But I would say maybe it takes 3. We'll put brainstorming. Well, I mean, maybe it takes... If you're at the point where you're writing the thesis, it shouldn't take longer than 25 minutes, right? But then you're like, oh, hey, I said I wanted to leave by 8. So I can probably move this task tomorrow. And if you have an account, it allows you to move tasks to tomorrow. By the way, you don't have to pay any premium thing to do that. So it can show you, like, you can look at a big calendar and it'll show you, like, hey, this day you have about these many hours in studying. So if you're like, hey, I want to maybe like surprise visit my friend. My friend's doing a surprise birthday party in their dorm. So I want to go do that. How much time does it take for me to study? Can I study in between lunch and my next class, or will that be too much time? Because I don't want to feel rushed. A lot of where stress comes from in college is feeling rushed. So I think that this is a great tool. So that way you can like organize your things. You can organize your task into projects. So you can do a big group and be like, all right, these are all the things I need to do to break down my major paper that I need to write. And if you finish early, it's like a reward. So you can get yourself a little treat or something. A lot of the time when I'm studying, I study with snacks. Because like, if I finish doing some flashcards, then I get to have a grape. Or I get to have a gummy or something. And then it's like, yay, I did something productive. And everything is awesome. And my life is so beautiful and sunny. And everything is amazing. So I like to use this tool a lot. Again, you can use any other kind. This one makes noise. And I like that it makes noise. I think with the app that you use, you can have ambient noise, cafe sounds. You can have like birds chirping, ocean sounds, white noise, etc. That doesn't work for me because snacks would distract me. That's fair. That's fair. Mind you, if you look at the tab, let me move the window down just a bit. Oops. I'm moving something I'm not supposed to. If you look at the tab, you can see in the corner that it does the timer. So if you switch tabs, the timer is still going to count down, just in case you didn't know that. Now you know. So it'll keep counting. So if you're in a different tab and you're like working on a paper and looking at sources and stuff, you'll still have the countdown in the corner. So it'll keep going no matter what, which I think is quite the luxury. So I like using this tool a lot. But yeah. Pause, start whenever. You can hear the sound, can't you? Isn't that so nice? Let me go forward if I can. And it does a bell at the end. Oh, and I also get a pop-up on my window that tells me like, oh, hey, by the way, it's time for you to take a break. And you can click start, or if you're in like a flow state, you don't have to do that. You can just do another unit. You know, it's so fun that you get so excited about this. I love studying! I love studying. I'm so serious about it. I love it so much. Okay. Boom. Hi, hands. Oh, I off-centered my little window by accident because I was moving it around when I wasn't supposed to. Sorry. It's gonna be difficult. I'll use arrow keys. You can't run from me. You will be perfect because I say so. Okay, other thing that I use. Oh, for notes. I keep forgetting because I know some of you guys like to be on technology. Do I recommend typing notes? For me, no. I absolutely don't, because typing notes will look like how you type literally everything else. And so I don't recommend doing it that way, mostly because it's... Yeah, no, I don't type them. Okay, brain association time, friends. We can draw it out. We can draw it. Okay. We can draw it. This is your bed. Your bed is for sleep. And relaxing. Okay? Do you know what your bed is not for? Work. Because your brain associates sleep with these two things. So when you try to do this, your brain goes, huh? So either it's going to get you to do either of these two things and you are not going to be productive, or when you want to do this, it is going to think that you're trying to do this. And so you'll lay down and be like, oh my goodness, I have insomnia. I can't believe this because every time I try to do this, my brain wants to do this. And so I'm not sleeping. Because you're trying to do everything together. Yes, doom scrolling as well. Screen time. That keeps you awake. Okay, mind you, the purpose of a bed is for sleep and relaxing. Relaxing is great. Blue light equals this for your brain. So when you do a lot of this, when you're trying to sleep and relax, your brain is going to try and keep you awake. It's not insomnia, it's blue light, and your brain making associations, and you confusing it with this and the literal opposite of this. So if you find that you can't sleep, and you also find that your phone is right beside your bed. Consider getting rid of the thing that makes your brain not want to do what it's supposed to do in the place that you want it to do it. Hate to be that person, guys. Hate to tell you to not watch screens. But if you're trying to sleep, this is important. So when you study... Oh, this is our fake calendar. Here, when you study, you have to have a study location. Usually that helps. So if you go somewhere out, library might be good. You know, cafe might be good. Somewhere where your brain says it's time to work and will not get it confused with not working. That's why the office is for gaming and TV movies. Yes, Gruffy. You know, if you want to be that way, that's okay. That's okay. I just know that I was really frustrated because I felt like I couldn't sleep. And I felt like every time I tried to do work at home, it just didn't work. So I kicked myself out of my dorm. I could not study in my room because I would want to lay in my bed. And if I lay in my bed and do work, I will not sleep. And sleep is so important when you're in college and you need to manage your time because sleep will set the entire mood of your day. If you do not sleep, you will not be productive. You will be tired and cranky and grumpy with people. And you will have less patience and you'll be prone to more stress, okay? So whenever I try to study, I kick myself out of my dorm. Sometimes I would go to Panera. And that was nice. Sometimes I would go to like a local cafe. And that's nice. Mind you don't have to spend any money. You can bring snacks if you want. You know? You can do that. That's good. Panera is a great study spot. It has great vibes. You have the most elegant fingers. Thank you. I grew them myself. Well, actually, Moth Mom grew them for me, and then I got to inherit them. So, oh hi, Rabbit. Hello. It's getting dark. Hold on. Bloop, bloop. Ooh, ring light. Hi. Hi, Rabbit. Hold on. Okay, let me shout you out. Hey, here's my hand with my mouse. That is about to happen in 2 minutes. But hi. Hi. How are ya? It's me, Juni. It's nice to meet you. Nice to see you again. Oh, thank you. That was awesome. I appreciate that. Oops. I keep forgetting my jazz music gets mixed up. Hee ha, beat you. Good. That's your job. I'm joking. A little bit. I joke a little bit. Anyway. We were talking about knowing when and where to study and to do work. Hey, do you have insomnia by chance? Do you feel like you can't sleep? It's because your bed is for sleeping and relaxing. It's not for screen time, and it's also not for doing work. Don't work in your bed. Don't keep yourself awake in your bed. Do these things in your bed. That's what it's for. And so, your brain is a very simple machine sometimes. It's more simple than it's complex in terms of how you need to use it. So, if you need to study, bad place for studying? Bed. Bad place for studying? A party. Bad place for studying? Literally anything else. Any place. Fun, I'll say. So like, if you're trying to study in the same place where you do other fun activities, it's probably not the best place to study. Because your brain's gonna go like, oh yeah, of course, band practice. I can study during band practice. Your brain's either going to bring you right back to studying, or you are just not going to do it. Because that's just how productivity is. I had some rough time trying to do the game dev stream, but OBS kept crashing, so I played some games instead. That happens. It's totally okay. OBS doesn't like certain games, so sometimes you have to open the program before OBS. If you open it while you have OBS already open, it's not gonna like you very much. But ads are about to happen, so I will see you on the other side of ad jail. Be safe. OBS is very temperamental. I agree with you. It is in fact. But ads are starting very soon. Where's my cap? My cap? Where did I put my cap? Here it is. I will say that I still use these study methods. I only let myself do work at my desk. I will not do work, not at my desk, unless I travel out. Hi, Juni. Hi, Zoro. June! Hi, Lo-Fi. Ads are about to happen, so you will be shooed away shortly. Forgive me, I tried to delay them as long as I could. OBS is pretty good for being a free software. I agree. OBS is absolutely completely free. So I definitely recommend that. For sure, for sure, for sure. But I can start on the little graphic I want to do for study styles. Uh-oh. I'm spilling everything everywhere. It's all on my lap. Okay. I left my pencil case open. Give Junior ad monies. No! I can't wait for ad jail. Well, I just wanted to let you guys know it was happening, so, you know. Just so you know. You know? Okay, I think the ad is in progress. It is. Wonderful. Okay, I'm gonna readjust myself. Oof. Because I was sitting like one leg up, one leg down. Crossed. I'm gonna grab a paper. Oh. This is a behind the scenes Juni thing. This Smelly is here. Oh, not me. I don't know what you're doing here. Okay, so this is my little like silly little baby binder. And I used to use this as a planner. This is just a sneak peek. Oh, I can actually show you some of the stuff in here. Some of the Juni drafts actually, because I still like to use this to like draw some stuff. So I was deciding on how to do the antenna, some concepts for different VTubers, you know, kind of messing around, a separate hairstyle, a gummy bear VTuber, what I wanted for the ends of my hair, a separate hairstyle. I'm thinking still doing little ponytails, but I'm not sure yet. You know, Jester Juni's in there, some other design things, you know. I did end up folding my antenna down and I liked that concept. So I kept that one, you know. Some stage play ideas, a different outfit, Jester Juni outfit idea, you know. Yeah, so I am a kind of person who needs paper like near me all the time because I sometimes wake up with ideas and I want to write them down. But this used to be my like little school binder for notes. So I can show you a little bit about how I used to do the Pomodoro method. So for this, I did my little study block, I did the duration, I wrote down what I did in those little time periods, right? And so I told myself when I started and when I finished, because sometimes I get distracted, so I might not finish on time like I want to, but I did like separate everything. So that helped me a lot, you know, to like do a separated study block. I had like a to-do list, like this checklist of what to do what day, kind of thing, you know. If I fell behind, especially, I had to just sit down and lock in, right? So that was something that I did too for school. And then also, this was me writing out like kind of what I wanted to do for my paper, this side. Because I wrote a paper about Dungeons and Dragons and how that can help people, like kids with creative writing, to do like a D&D kind of summer camp thing. Yeah. So those kind of things help me. Writing things down always helps me. Not everyone, but for me, writing is like so crucial to how I study. Okay, I'm gonna have a sip of drink. A sip of drink! It's my tea. It's uncaffeinated. I was smart today and wait, was I smart today? Yes, I was smart today. So good. Okay, perfect. Consider that tea drinking. Drunken. Drink. Drunk. I don't know. Sipped. Okay. What was I going to talk about? Oh! Online notes. Digital notes. I think physically writing things is helpful for most people. Okay. But I have a great compromise. I work on stuff while I'm in bed. Bad idea, Jennifer. Bad idea. How's your sleep? Is your sleep okay? Because if it's not, I found the problem. This is my iPad. I'm going to show you something that helped me. Is she going to uni or no? No. I just like to study and I'm helping people who have to study. Okay. Are you ready for this cool thing? This super cool, awesome, amazing thing? Because I am. Okay. Let me show you. This is called Good Notes. Okay. This is my Good Notes. This is my Good Notes for Catholic Theology. And these are my online notes. So I have an Apple Pen. And so I was able to write down notes in a digital format. So if I ever forgot my journal or my notebook for my class, I would have somewhere to write my notes. I would keep the same color scheme so that way I wouldn't miss online notes. I wouldn't feel the urge to pull out my laptop and type because that's a bad idea. Typing for me that will just render it forgotten, okay? And if I type it, I always come back and I write it down in Good Notes, in my notebook, whatever. This is Good Notes. So as you can see, everything's color-coded, just like how I would actually do it. And this is why I say, so usually I use a colored pen for the slide name. I'll use gray as the pencil color or pen color, and then I'll use a highlighter to like, you know, separate the sections. So as you can see, everything is very distinct and organized. And then this is like something different, so I changed the color. I forgot to put the notes. This went in a journal and not on my online version. I wonder, do they still sell unsubscription version? Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can get the unsubscription version. This one is unsubscription. This one was a one-time purchase. So I bought it and it unlocked every feature, but you don't have to buy a version. But I just liked to. So these are all my notes. And as you can see, you can draw little pictures. So I drew some pictures in there. This was a class that was very heavy PowerPoint oriented. So as you can see, there's more notes. And I'll show you a class that didn't have that. But this was my Catholic theology class, if you couldn't tell, with all the titles and stuff. But I drew a picture of Jesus in there, you know, because I don't know, why not? Yeah, but these are like real actual notes that I took when I was in university. If you work with PDFs a lot, Liquid Text is an amazing app too. I agree. There is something that's a PDF that's in here. So this is my Socrates and Plato class. We only talked about Socrates and Plato the entire semester, okay? This was a class that was lecture heavy, and so what I did was I drew it because drawing helps me, and writing down examples helps. So I use different colors for different things. You can't really see that this is highlighted, but I promise you in person you can actually see what those words are. It looks goofy because I think the thing's too bright, but you know, and I wrote everything out, and I think I just scribble in class sometimes. I'll scribble, I'll erase it, I'll scribble again. The W Jesus drawing, thank you, and welcome, Flight of Terror. These are my exam questions. The questions that I wrote down that she told us were going to be on the exam, did not print them anywhere, just said them verbally, and I'm like, I need this. So I wrote them down. And this was another case of me being bored and doodling something, you know how it is. But I did black pages because I just thought it'd be fun. It was one of my classes that I had time to dilly-dally. These are my my sheet music for a concert. That was a short concert and I didn't have that much time to practice, so I wrote the note names in because I didn't feel like reading treble clef. I'm a bass clef girl, so I had to read treble clef, and I was like, oh no, thank you. But I wasn't going to struggle. I was like, I'm gonna just write it down and forget about it. I do not care. So you know, these are what I used for the concert because an iPad is so like slim, and I usually put my music in a folder, so it wasn't super thick, and I just put it on. I used it for the stage and it was fine. Bass clef, girl, cringe. What do you mean? I played baritone. You want me to use treble clef for a bass instrument? Oh yeah, and you can like write on the thing. I think I used my finger for this, and that's why it looks so like redonkulous. But yes, we did play Kingdom Hearts, and we did play Howl's Moving Castle, like Merry-Go-Round of Life, because we're cool. But this was like a student-led concert, so obviously we like picked what was popular. But yeah, good notes. This is good notes. I loved good notes. You can change the page color and everything, so like this page is off-white. I never like to use white. And if you notice with my paper that I've been using, this page is not white. This page is off-white. In the Kokyo campus notebooks, the paper is not white, it is off-white. We do not do like white paper. I just think it looks so more, like much more organic to not use white paper. So I just use like off-white paper. But yeah, how the heck do people read music? You follow your heart. Just kidding. You practice. That's literally it. You practice. It's just practice. It's literally just practice. So, the other thing that I packed for school, quote unquote, I'm not going back to school, I'm not going to graduate school, I'm not going to get my master's. 2 folders. This red panda folder is going to be for my sheet music, because I like to keep my sheet music printed if I can, because I like to make notes on it. I highlight sections that are difficult that I want to practice. I write everything that I need to write down. Some people look at me weird. They're like, Juni, why does your notes look like a math equation? And why does your sheet music look like that? I don't know what to tell you. It's what I need. So do what you need, even if, you know, it feels silly. Target had God-tier notebooks from their in-house brand. They stopped selling it there years ago. Very sad about it. I'm sorry. Oh, it's cute. Yeah. My red panda is for my music. Red panda music time. And then this one, I think, these are dahlias. So this is for anything that I need that's printed. Oh, it's a chrysanthemum, actually. Yeah. Reason being, I go to different parishes and I get paper things and they get crushed up, right? Or lost. And sometimes I get pamphlets that I want to keep track of. Because, you know, when you're an adult, sometimes you get paper things and you realize you don't have anywhere to store your paper things. And they get kind of crumpled up and messed up. That's why you get a folder. It's back to school time, so if you don't have a folder for adult papers, applications, etc., just get one folder. Put all your stuff in there. You realize it's very helpful. Keep it in your car. So if you get a paper from a place and you're like, oh, here's an application thing I want to fill out. Here's like something for a retreat or something that I want to keep track of or give to someone else. Put it in a folder. It's as simple as getting a folder. Getting a folder, putting it in a folder. But if you're a student, folders obviously are essential. The to-do and done side folder thing is awesome. So let's say you get papers, you need to do them. This is your homework side. This is your completed homework side. You know, so if you forget you have something, you just open the folder and then you go, oh dang, I haven't done that. I need to find time to do that, you know? But the point of studying and the point of all of this is to say, you know your brain the best, and there are going to be methods and strategies that will help you that might not be helpful for other people. For me, like, for example, I love flashcards, so I got a flashcard holder. I got a bunch of flashcards because they're on sale for like 50 cents. This is going to be what I'm using to learn Japanese because I really like to write things down. I really like to color code these. All of my flashcards will be color coded by unit and organized by unit, and I'll keep them all. And then I'll shuffle them up and I'll study them randomly so I don't forget anything. Okay? Some people hate flashcards. They're like, Juni, that's gross. Why would anyone ever use flashcards? That's terrible. Gross. So, you know, maybe online flashcards help them more. Maybe taking notes digitally helps them more. Maybe reading aloud, especially if you're a learner that likes to listen to lectures and you're like, anything that I listen to, I usually remember. Try and explain the topic to someone who's never heard it before. If you can do that, it's likely that you understand the material. So explaining something again really, really helps for a lot of people. I'm not ready to go back to school already. Get ready! It's time! It's time for school! I have a DS game that's all about training your brain, and I'll admit my brain feels older than I. Brain Age. Yeah, my mom made me play a lot of Brain Age. But honestly, it helped. Anki did me and many in my study groups good. Yes, I also have Anki, but I want to do all the Anki flashcards on flashcards. Yeah, I love to study with paper. I love paper. For me, Quizlet really helped. Making Kahoots really helped, especially if you have like study groups. You can make Kahoots for everyone and everyone can put in questions and then you all can study together that way. Use office hours. The professor is there at your disposal. Yes, it can be awkward at first, but once you get used to it, it's fine. Go in, be like, hey, how did you remember this thing? Because I'm not remembering this. Or like, there's this equation. I've been trying to do this homework, and it's better that I don't fail this class than to feel awkward about asking this question. Help me with this one. I don't know what I'm doing, you know? Hear that, guys? We're getting tested on genealogy next Thursday, so be ready. No. Sure, writing things down is known to boost memorization. Yes, color coding is known to boost memorization, and then writing things down. So when you do both together, that's amazing. And if you're a digital person and you get good notes, you write it down digitally, so you always have a copy of it. And then it's color-coded and organized. You'll never be without ever. I will hydrate. I still have a little bit of tea left. I'll mute myself so you don't hear me. You know, that's gross. Yum. So, I think that is the ultimate method. If you feel like you need to time yourself, candle method, Pomodoro method, okay. Oh, another thing that I really like, and this is a combination of two things. Okay, wait, let me like pull it up. I'm very excited about this. Okay, this for me is the reason I got into streaming, which is actually hilarious. But let me see. Let me pull up some for you, because this cured me, I think. Alright, this is hilarious. I'll show you. Study with me videos. Okay, this is someone studying, and it makes me feel responsible, because if you're studying, then I have to study, because if I look over at my PC, someone is doing something, right? So there's a whole bunch of them, of people studying. Jemmy has one that's out, and this looks so soothing. And so, like, for me, study with me stuff helps. Because if I look at my device, which would be picked up for a distraction, and there's someone doing what I'm supposed to be doing, I'm gonna be like, oh man, I gotta be studying, don't I? That sucks. Alright, well, let me go do that, you know? Are you in college? No, but I was a college student once. Yeah, I graduated, I have my diploma. It's like on my Miku shelf. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to punch you in the face. It's on my Miku shelf. So, you know, yes, certified student already. But I do like to do self-study, so I take online classes sometimes. Then, are you going back to school? Nope. Well, maybe. I don't really have a need to, but I want to learn Japanese, so I'm getting really serious about learning Japanese and studying again, because I have to take the certification, like the NLT something. So here's the Genki textbook, and then this is the practice book, I think, or it might be the other way around. This is the workbook, yeah. So, you know, obviously I gotta study, because I got worksheets to do, man. I want to do like a unit a week, so I'm gonna lock in, because I want to start doing streams that are like bilingual. But I won't do that if I don't study. So I'm like, oh, well, let me get some school supplies. Oh no! Hey? I haven't started yet. I don't know that one. I don't know that one. Gan? But maybe no. I don't know. Listen, I just started to learn hiragana, okay? So we're relearning hiragana and katakana first, and then we'll be doing a unit a week. So sometimes I may be doing Japanese study streams. There are a lot of games that are for helping learn Japanese. There are a few of them. And ganbatte. Oh. Ba. That is ba, isn't it? And then this little thingy, that's like an added thing to add extra letter. It's like I forgot what they're called. There's characters in Chinese, like in Mandarin, where they don't do anything. Like they don't make a sound, but they add something. Like a double like letter. Kanji? You learn kanji usually when you go through like units, because if you just try, yes, modifiers, thank you. Yeah, if you try to learn kanji just like raw, like just to try to learn kanji without anything else, then rough. Wow, you're serious. Yeah. So I wanted to give you guys my study advice, you know, because these are gonna be real Anki paper flashcards. It's gonna be great. I can't wait. So yeah, I'm getting back to school like you guys. There's two in Russian. B and Fancy B. Hi, Alloy. Let's learn Kyone Greek. I don't want to learn Greek. That sounds hard. I've lost my textbook for Genki, which is upsetting. I have both of mine still, and they're completely untouched, which means I'm girl failing. So I'm gonna give myself practice quizzes and everything, because you actually do have to take like a proper like test to say, like, if you want to like do a Japanese job or something, to say like, yes, I actually have the language comprehension needed to do this job. So I want to get my little score up, and then I want to be able to do Japanese covers, and I want to be able to stream in Japanese and in English. But to do that, I need to study. I can't just be like, oh, I want to learn Japanese, and then not do anything. So I'm telling you guys what I do, what my study methods are, and how I like plan around it, so that way you guys can do that too. No is soft sign and is hard sign. Oh, Juni, I'm gonna have to beat you up now. Oh wow, because I'm trying to learn a language? Sue me, I guess. But yeah, that's basically everything. My pencil case. and my flashcard case, and my textbooks you saw, and my big planner. Where's my big planner? My big planner. Yeah. So this is how not procrastinate. Easy. Oh, easy. You write down everything that you have to do. You schedule around what you need to do. You tell yourself that you have hard deadlines. Do not make your deadline the actual day that something is due. Make your deadline something before that and make it feel serious. What I do is I burn down a candle. I decide to do an assignment. It takes from the beginning of the candle to when the candle stops burning for me to finish the assignment. That is my deadline. So I lock in if I have the time to do that. Also, using the Pomodoro method. I'll show you guys again. Where's my Pomo focus? Focus Pomo. This one. Pomo focus. Here, let me pop that up for you. Using this study method where you go for 25 minutes, you take a break for 5 minutes, and then every 3 of these, you take 1 long break. What can I say? What about burnout though? So the key is being able to reduce your stress. You don't burn out when you're not stressed. And so though you can balance all your schedule and make sure everything looks nice and pretty and everything, you have to give yourself days where you do nothing. But I realized that when you don't do that for yourself and your work isn't done, you will always feel like something is lingering over you. When you feel burnout, you can't just give up, but you can give yourself days in between your work days where you don't do anything. So for this practice example that I've made, this is your schedule basically. Unit 6 quiz on Monday. You have a sight reading quiz on Wednesday. You have to do reading for Wednesday's class and for Friday's class, and your paper is due on Friday, okay? There are plenty of times that you can write your paper before Friday. Do not write your paper on Friday. Do not start and finish your paper on Friday. That causes stress. These squiggly lines are stress, okay? Because you have to read, because you have your paper due, double stress, okay? Stress this day because you have your quiz. Stress this day because you have to do homework, and then also you have a quiz test situation, okay? So what you're trying to do is minimize your stress by spreading the things that you need to do out during the week. If you have to read for Wednesday's class, do not read on Wednesday. Read on Tuesday. You have nothing to do on Tuesday? Do it on the day you have nothing to do. So that way you don't have to stress. If you have a paper due on Friday, you can start by brainstorming and looking at sources and write your thesis. That'll take about an hour and a half, okay? And then you can do a paragraph or a page a day until you get to Friday, turn it in. You don't have to worry about it. If you want to hang out and socialize and party and do the dorm dinner and be social, just make sure that you do everything you need to do first by trying to fit it in the schedule you already know. What I say is that you should, when you get your syllabus, write everything that you have to do down in your calendar, and then you don't have to worry about looking at it because there will be no surprises anymore. You flip through your calendar and you will see, this day I have a test. This month I have 3 tests and I have my first midterm. You know, these days I need to study. So you'll already know, okay? But you will obviously naturally get burnt out by doing the same thing over and over again because college feels like a never-ending workload. Same with high school. You just feel like you always have to be doing something. Give yourself days where you don't do anything, okay? If you have to read on Wednesday, but you're burnt out because you're so busy, this is what you do. For Wednesday's class, instead of stressing out on Wednesday, read on Monday. So the only thing you really had to do was your quiz. Maybe think a little bit about brainstorming and everything, and then do your reading on Monday. It's a lot, but what that does is that completely frees up your Tuesday. So after Tuesday's classes, you have free time. Don't think about studying. Don't do anything study related because you already took care of it, okay? You already started thinking about your paper. We have to practice for our test. Practice. You already practiced for your sight reading, okay? You already did your reading for Wednesday. Don't do anything on Tuesday. Go take yourself out somewhere nice. Visit a cat cafe. Visit your family. Hang out with your friends. Do not think about school after classes. You have to give yourself time to not do anything. If not, you will go crazy and then you will burn yourself out, and then the assignments will stack up and it'll drive you crazy and you'll want to drop out. Which everyone wants to drop out at least once. So don't feel bad about thinking about dropping out, because everybody thinks about dropping out when they're stressed. I thought about dropping out and I love school so much. So don't worry about that part, okay? It happens to the best of us, okay? I get lost in all my tasks. This organization is really good. Thanks for the info. Good. No problem. If you have all the dates and times, as soon as you have a date and time, put it in a calendar. Your brain does not have to remember it when it's in a calendar. So whenever you're like, oh, well, let me look at next week, you could be like, oh, hey, check this out. Boom. I already got something going on. So let me plan around what I have already. So I use a paper calendar. I use a whiteboard calendar, but I really want to put everything in a planner, like a proper planner. So I got this nice fancy planner, and so I can put all my stream stuff because it's really big. It has plenty of space for everything. So it's like the monthly overview, which I find to not be as helpful. But this part is. My calendar is split up in the morning and evening. So I can be like, okay, like if I'm a student, in the morning I have my classes. So I need to do my reading for my classes, and I need to practice, right? Because in the evening I have like a dorm dinner with the people on my hall. So I need to go do that, you know? So you can separate all your things. And if you want to color code by class, you can. I used to color code by class. And so when you open up your calendar, you can see this day I have a reading, this day I have a reading, this day I have a reading that I need to do for my morning classes. Evening, I have this event that we planned months ago on Wednesday. And I have something on Saturday evening, you know? And so you already have everything scheduled out and planned. And so that way, it's less on your brain to have to remember everything. Because when we're really stressed, that's one of the things that goes. Remembering all the things that we have to do. Because if we're focusing on one task, your brain's going to be like, nothing else is important right now. I'm stressed about this one thing. And then when you start to stress about little things, it drives you crazy. So a few things that help, that Moth Mom told me. Sometimes you're going to reach your limit in school and you're going to be really stressed out and you're going to want to cry and drop out. If you feel like you need to cry and you're in school, let yourself cry. And then take care of the most basic things that you can to reduce stress. So if you're crying because you're stressed out, also you haven't had lunch, you are tired, you haven't slept enough, and you have things to do, first thing, cry, drink water, okay? Second thing, go eat something. Do not think about anything else until you have eaten, because you're already not thinking properly because you're too stressed. Go eat. Take a little nap, okay? Because your brain's not fully functioning when you were tired. Eat, water, nap, and then wake up because all of your needs have been met. Okay? And then you can start thinking about your game plan. Plan everything out, because if your brain is trying to jumble a bunch of ideas, I have a paper due, I need to study for a class, I have to turn in an assignment, I need to respond to an email. Write the things down so that way you don't bounce back and forth between them, because that will stress you out. Especially if you have ADHD. It's very hard to stay focused on one thing. Your brain is naturally going to want to connect everything all the time. You need to separate. You need to separate. Because if you're all like this, nothing's going to get done because you're tangled like this. So untangle yourself. Separate everything. And then go, okay, I'm really stressed out now. I have 4 hours. 1 hour I'm going to study. The next hour I'm not going to think about anything but responding to this email. Okay, next hour I'm going to think about how I'm going to structure my paper. If I'm too stressed and I can't handle it, I'm going to talk to my professor, okay? And we're going to figure it out. And then I'm going to take care of whatever I need to take care of in those 4 hours. Okay, and if it takes less time, awesome. And if it just takes those 4 hours and that's all you can do, then do that. And that's all. Hi, Juni. You sound smart. Hi, KJ. I'm talking about studying in school and I love it and I'm planning and I'm going to learn Japanese and everything's awesome. I'm at my limit and we ain't even started. You're not at your limit. You're just nervous. It's okay to be nervous for school. It's natural because you're like premeditating your stress, and so you're like mentally preparing yourself to be stressed, and you don't have to do that. You don't have to be stressed. It's easy to be stressed, but you need to know your own brain. So what situations causes you to procrastinate? How can you plan a schedule where you don't procrastinate and you don't feel like you're all like this all the time. What can you do to structure yourself? Then do it. You know, and sometimes you realize things work really well, and then other times you realize that things don't work for you. Where you hear like all these like ideas of like, oh, I should do flashcards because they help me remember. But you feel like you can't remember to do the flashcards and it takes too long for you. Find a different method. Find an online deck of flashcards or something similar, you know? Find a way that works for you that will be easy for you to do. The hardest part is setting a new routine, but once you set that routine, it takes about a month, but once you set the routine, you don't have to worry, okay? Quizlet. You can use Quizlet for flashcards because Quizlet also has other games involved. So there's matching games, and I love Quizlet for the matching game flashcards. So whenever I'm trying to learn terms, I will do the matching game because it will have all the words and then things that I can match. So it's like, here's the front of the card and the back of the card, and you have to match them together. And it's timed and everything, and I love things that are timed, and I love like things that are gamified. So that is a great one. I wanted to recommend you guys a website that's super unhinged, but it doesn't exist anymore, unfortunately. So there was this website that used to exist, and I think there's like a fake one, like a not real one that exists. Okay. This is crazy. If you are a chronic procrastinator, I'll show you this, actually. This is hilarious. Well, I mean, maybe don't do it. If it depends. It depends on what kind of person you are. All right. But we'll see. We'll see. Okay, hold on. Let me try and find the right tab. This is this one. Okay. Here we go. So this originally was called Write or Die. Okay? Write or Die is a tool you use and you type. For the original one, you just like type stuff and oh, let me see. It's not working. Yeah, you can just type and be like right? And let's say, oh, I'm gonna get distracted and I'm not gonna do anything. It will erase what you wrote if you stop. So if you're a procrastinator, do you see how the entire thing erased? Completely? Because I decided to dilly-dally, it does not save anywhere. So if you really feel like you're down to the wire and you cannot focus, for risk of losing all of your progress, you will write or you will perish. That's evil. You know? But if you feel like you can't focus, it works. If you decided to procrastinate this far, it works. There's different modes, of course, so there's like a time limit or a word limit or anything. This one is called Burning Apparatus, and it's an itch.io thing. But the original one used to be timed and everything, but you can like download it and everything. There's a web version and it's pretty good. It's okay, but it's not as good as the original. But yeah, if you feel like you cannot focus and you are procrastinating and you have 2 hours to finish your paper, you better write. And if not to write your entire paper here, to at least start like this and get in the flow, and then you can move to a normal Word doc and not be super stressed out. But that's what I've used a few times when I procrastinate on a paper that I needed to get done. It makes you get it done, because if not, you lose everything. So yeah, but the original one was so good, and I wish it still existed, because there was different ones where like if you stopped, like words would slowly erase themselves. And I think there's a mode to do it on that, but like a little word would just go away every time. So like, let's say you want to pick up your phone and scroll through TikTok. Guess what? Your hard work for the past 5 minutes is now gone because you decided to scroll and pick up your phone and look at X. Are we locking in or not? So you don't have to do that if you're not a procrastinator, but if you are and you know yourself, that is like hitting the emergency button. I have 50 minutes to write this paper. It is now 11 o'clock, okay? You gotta do what you gotta do, all right? That is like, if nothing else, and you learned nothing from me, there is a way to make your little procrastinator brain work for you, your little ADHD brain work for you, okay? That is extreme measures, but there are measures you can take. My professor told me about this. 2 of them did. And I was like, all right. I was like, yeah, how do I just not procrastinate anymore? He's like, do that, and then you can get extensions or extensions on your Google Chrome or on your computer to block apps completely. So if you feel like you just can't focus, that app blocker is no joke. You will not be able to access YouTube. You will not be able to access X. There is nothing you can do to backpedal that until the time period is up. So your head. So kind of you to make this for people who need it. You must do your work. I have my beautiful planner. Nana! Hi Mira. You like my planner? Oh, this is my big planner. And my school supplies. Yay! We've been going since sunset. And my flashcards, but you know. I was just sharing with everyone how I studied. I used a tool where like it would erase your progress if you were writing something if you stop writing. So that really helped me. You know, if you're like, oh, I don't know what to write. I'm looking at a blank document. Guess what? You better. Yeah, this would have saved me in college. Your planner's so cute. Thank you. It's really big. I just got it like 2 days ago. So I'm excited to fill it out and put our collabs in there so I can actually schedule my collabs on paper. I am a writing down paper person, and I've been typing stuff on an online calendar, and I hate having to open a calendar virtually. Give me paper. I need paper to arrive. I'm in a car trip right now, so I'll just be lurking. La 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 la. Wonderful. Well, I think I said everything I wanted. If anyone has any other questions, then I will happily address them. But if not, then we can find someone to raid. But yeah, lock in, guys. This year, you're not gonna fail, okay? This year, you're gonna be minimally stressed. Maybe a little bit of stress is okay. It's normal. Drive/ride safe. You better not be driving and texting at the same time. I don't think that's happening. I don't think that's what's happening. But yeah, now you guys know. Yes, you will pass. I want to do some study with me streams, especially with my new model, because I look very studious. So yeah, let me switch over to my room. My room. Whoa! Wow, I can't believe that I'm going to be debuting a model in September. How crazy is that? Perfect for school, huh? Oh, where am I? Hold on. I know where I am. Off the screen. And too small. Thank you, Juni. School might as well be my biggest cross to carry. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be a big cross. Wow, eyes! Yeah. Eye jump scare. She's so pretty. Thank you. I hope your stream was wonderful. It was really good. I really enjoyed it. Wow, so pretty, I know. I will be sending or like posting design notes every day until 2 weeks left before debut. So 14 days out. We're on day 16 before debut. T-minus 16 days until debut. So on day 14, you may just see the model. And you may just see a few teasers until... You know, I'm never gonna give you like the full thing, I don't think. Maybe. I haven't decided yet. But you'll see some spoilers until then. Yeah. So I'm excited for that to show you guys, you know, if you want to draw her or something. I'm joking. But I want to put her out there. I gotta go. Bye. Take care. Bye, Jennifer. Take care. Have a great rest of your day. We're gonna raid out pretty soon. Should I take a nap? I don't know. Should you? You could. I like spoilers. Me too, but I know some of you guys don't. So I do want to show you guys the new model so, you know, people can have references for it. Why is P-Tony streaming again? Game of favorites. You will sleep till morning and it won't be a nap. That's true. Good stream today. Thank you for sharing study methods, Juni. Of course, I'm excited to study. You guys will keep me responsible. I want to do some study with me streams, so I'll be studying and we can co-work together. Like, we can pick a day a week where we lock in and do whatever we need to do. Okay, like Wednesday night, Thursday night, I'm going to draw you. Oh no, Jennifer! Scared. I'm not scared. If you want to, you can. Yeah. So I'm really excited about all of that. I'm gonna go and we're gonna raid Stella because she's doing a collab with the Arc people. Oh, but not yet. Not yet. She's not live yet. She's starting soon. I don't want to stress her out. Historic scuff? That's terrible. He's doing his usual post-game of favorite stat breakdown. Oh, yeah! Well, I got to see it yesterday, so that was really fun. I had a good game yesterday because Father Evan got 100 votes for me round 3. So I was pretty untouchable, you know. I think they wanted Sean to come in at the end and win, and he got close, but not quite. I felt good about that. It was a good game. It was a good game. But yeah, tomorrow is Sunday, and I've decided that I'm not going to stream anywhere on Sundays because I need my rest day, and I haven't been resting. And I don't want to burn out, because I realize that sometimes I don't burn out. I just kind of like, I don't know. I mean, I feel like I'm starting to crash, and then I'm like, well, I'll be fine. It's fine. So I don't do anything stream related on Sundays, period. I do not turn on my PC on Sundays. It's what I used to do, but I was like, I want to be a daily streamer on Irium. So I started streaming instead of resting, unfortunately. But hey, listen, you live and you learn. And I'm living and I'm learning what my limits are in terms of streaming. And they're different than what I used to have. And that being said, when I used to stream, when I first started, I could only stream for an hour and a half because my headphones were really uncomfortable and the chair I was in was really not meant for sitting in for that long. And so, you know, I would stream until I was physically uncomfortable and then I would stop streaming. And now I can easily stream for 3 hours at a time, especially on Twitch. It's pretty comfortable for me now, but not always. So I always keep my Irium streams to an hour and a half, and if I'm really feeling it, 2 hours, especially if I'm cooking because I get distracted. But I won't be streaming on Sunday because if I stream every day, I realize that no day feels like a day off, and that I'm like going and going and going and going and going and not stopping, and it feels like no day is like set apart. And so I kind of learned, like by force and maybe a little bit of stupidity, that I need to have a day that feels different than all the other days. Because if not, every day kind of feels like Monday if you do everything the same all the time. So that was a lesson that I learned. And you know, it's important to have good plans and stuff, but you also have to know yourself and know when you need a break. And so I think it might be good to have 1 day a week. Because when doing that time off that I did, I think it was last weekend, I really just needed 1 day to recharge. It was just 1 day. I went to the pool. I read my book. I didn't think about stream at all. And then I was like, perfect. Life is perfect. So, yeah. I want to pray for my exams and to have peace for my break of social media. Oh, that's going to be absolutely wonderful. Being able to take a break and time off of social media is probably one of the best things you can do for your brain, because there is a lot of the algorithm that makes you angry, and so we don't want to be angry. So hopefully having that time off will be like, wow, normal average people are actually kind of nice, pretty chill. But we're going to slide over and rate Stella now because she's alive and like here now. She was on her BRB, but let me go rate her. Stella, U-R-O-O-R-A. That one's Stella, right? Let's see if that's the bunny profile picture I was looking for. Yes! This one is Stella. Here's the raid message. And if you're subscribed, the raid message is this one. Yeah, but I will be back on Monday, most likely. Maybe. I have a lot of things going on, and I'm gonna use my handy dandy planner and put everything on there, but it's likely I'll be back Monday, at the very least on Irium. We have a bit of traveling to do in the coming weeks, so, you know, some of it's up in the air, but whenever it settles, you guys will know. But I think so far as Monday is fine and untouched, so you'll likely be seeing me on Irium and elsewhere on Monday. So I will see you. Take care of yourself. Please drink water. Have a good dinner. Read your Bible. If you don't do that, try doing it today. See how it goes. And I'll see you guys very, very soon. Goodbye!